G'day nature nutters, welcome to the fuzzy fauna of Magnetic Island. As you can see, day one we were welcomed by this character, this little buck koala, being absolutely hounded by mosquitoes. Became our new neighbour for a couple of days. Anyway, if you're a fan of the cute, fuzzy, fluffy, furry stuff, be sure to stick around, there's loads of it in this episode. Also, if you haven't already, be sure to go back and check out Diving Magnetic Island. There's some really good material in there as well. Alright, I'll quit the jibber jabber, let's get into it. Alright, another beautiful evening here on Magnetic Island, guys, and we've come for our evening road tour, and we've got this little character. Now this is just the common carpet python, though let's face it, they're beautiful, they're stunning. This guy's a bit of a character. We've thankfully managed to just save him off the road in time. Another vehicle was just about to hit him. We managed to flag them down, and we've saved another beautiful little snake. He's obviously, and what quite often happens is they encounter bush turkeys and they pick the tails and harass them through the forest. So he's actually missing a bit of his tail, this guy. Oh, these are such fantastic little snakes, although they're very common and they're quite well distributed up the east coast of Australia. This is probably one of the most prolific snakes that people bump into in Australia. Almost everyone at some point will have one visit their house, chasing the vermin and the frogs and geckos off their verandas and their porches. But they are just such iconic Australian snakes. We never get bored of seeing these beautiful little carpet pythons. But fantastic news, we've managed to save this one from being another road tragedy. So we'll leave him to go up the rock pile here, chasing prey for the evening. Alright, find number 2 this evening, guys. Another save off the road. Now, another common species, however, we are a fan of these guys too. We're a fan of everyone, aren't we? This is the common brown tree snake, or Boiga irregularis. And yeah, just another beautiful evening's find. He's a bit wound up, so we'll just let him go and maybe get a few stills or something.
Right, nature knows, we actually just stopped because we found this beautiful big whistling spider, or the Australian tarantula. It's an awkward angle, I know, but this is probably about a 13 centimetre size tarantula. Little male on the wander looking for a girlfriend tonight. So good luck to him.
I have my suspicions this was a little female echidna. Usually when you encounter them, they ball up to protect their face. It's just a defensive mechanism. However, this one was quite happy just sitting on the warm road. I suspect she was a little bit broody. Well, I'm thankful for it anyway. It gave us a rare opportunity to get some face shots. Actually, one of the problems with koalas is when they come to the ground like this, they fall predation to cats, foxes, feral dogs, and obviously we've just pulled up and discovered this guy on the side of the road. And all too often, late at night, people just returning home from being out for dinner, coming down these country roads way too fast. Old mate was behind a bit of a tussock of grass here. Thankfully I'm driving 20 k's an hour, but people typically don't. And he's going to just cross the road, looking to get to the tree on the other side, and they clean them up. So we're going to get some quiet time with the mate here and get some stills, but we're definitely going to be sure to see him on his merry way across the road, because how could we allow harm to come to this beautiful, beautiful animal? We just chilling out on the side of the road.
Oh dear.
Sounds like you in the morning.
Where is it?
Hopefully this is one of his food trees, so hopefully he should just make his way up there. He's a little ways off the road at least. If not, he should at least travel through to a decent section of the forest and be off the road, out of the way of the vehicles. Alright, let's leave him be.
Alright guys, I'm really excited because I've been asking Dougal for a koala and we were walking back home and we just didn't seem to be finding them. So as we were walking back to the car, we just stepped into these two beautiful mom and a young koala. Oh, hi! Wow. Look at you. Oh, look at those ears. Incredible ears. Incredible strength to carry that. The little one up on the trees, honestly.
So her baby's on the brink of leaving. So she'll have just been mated by a buck koala in this season's mating. So she'll have she'll be pregnant shortly, if she's not already. So it means that she'll wean this baby and little man's going to have to go off and fend for himself shortly. Yeah.
Do they sleep at night or do they sleep during the day? At the diurnal or?
Nocturnal.
They're nocturnal. Aww. Look at you. Oh my God, look at you. Going out for the night. All right. Let's go.
So we'd been incredibly fortunate that the tree that she'd just been in had been pretty much stripped of all its vegetation. It was a bit under attack by termites as well. So she'd gone up it obviously to discover there wasn't much feed in it. So she decided to walk along the walking track, which gave us this quite rare opportunity to get them on the waltz here. And we killed two birds with one stone actually and just guided her with the light off to another appropriate food tree. Now, nature nutters, this is a rather iconic yet bizarre bird in Australia. This is the bush thickney or stone curlew. As you can see, they will sit still and freeze in motion to try and remain camouflage. Very effective. They're one of those species that's adapted to urbanisation incredibly well, taking advantage of street lights at night and the insects that they attract. Exceptionally good parents as well. They fiercely defend their young by squawking and hissing and opening their wings and threatening you, and they'll even distract you and fly around in circles in the hope of leading you away. Magnetic Island happens to be about 80% national park and comprises almost entirely of these massive granite boulders, which is made for the perfect habitat for the allied rock-wallaby, as you can see here. Now, there's several spots around the island that are good for seeing the wallabies, but particularly the Peninsula Car Park at the edge of Joffrey Bay. It's where the tour guides and a couple of the locals feed the wallabies so as the visitors can see them with ease. Though during the day it's okay, you'll see a couple, but if you really want to see these guys in depth, go at night. They absolutely overrun the car park and the surrounding rock work. They come out in full force and you really do get the most spectacular show. They're incredibly tame, and their ability to scale up these 2 to 3 story rocks with the littlest of effort is truly remarkable. It's amazing to see. We had a fantastic time. Though, unfortunately, there's a parasitic disease, toxoplasmosis, which is usually spread by cats, taking a bit of a toll on these guys. So there thankfully is a program to try and get in control of the feral cats, and then also have a little bit more control of domestic cats as well. I think the local residents and the council there are trying to restrict numbers of cats, and not only for the wallabies' sake, but also the tourism on the island, that they managed to get in control of toxoplasmosis, because it would be a sad day that we lose these little Aussie icons on the island. But if you wish to see them more in the wild, I'd recommend the West Point Road. Now, this was a really lovely experience we were fortunate to experience. During our stay on Magnetic Island, there had been incredibly hot temperatures, and a lot of the turtle nests, particularly the flatback turtles on the island, were getting too hot, and a couple of the volunteers on the island were really doing a fantastic job protecting them. Little props with shade cloth, going there and gently dampening the sand to cool it down. And well, anyway, these 4 that you can see here were the last 4 hatchlings of a particular nest that was under threat of cooking. It had been substantially overgrown by the vegetation on the top of the beachhead, and these little guys were literally stuck in amongst the root systems of these various plants, and the volunteers had gently excavated them out, and this was their release. Now, the red light is the infrared light of a torch because they're incredibly light sensitive. They utilise the moonlight reflecting off the water to direct them to the sea. It's a common problem, however, that our modern street lights and the villages and all the housing on the island distract them and they walk the wrong direction. So we took them down to the water's edge just so as they had the last little journey down the beach, which is obviously a pretty natural event for them. Thankfully at night, to sort of exclude the predation of the seagulls and the various other animals that like to try and snack on these poor little guys on the way down. As you can see, this little fella makes it to the water's edge. A bit of a rough start to life, being battered by the surf and waves, but they cope incredibly well and forge on, persevere and get out into the open ocean. Turtles, however, have a high fecundity, which means the infant mortality rate. So many of these babies just simply do not survive. However, thankfully, once they get to a certain age, they're very resilient and tough, and they have few to no real predators, only really man-made threats. And they will return as mature turtles and breed on this very beach in the same place themselves in the future, hopefully. Unfortunately, Nature Nutters, that brings us to the end of another episode. Be sure to hit the like and subscribe buttons, the bell icon, and you'll be notified of a really good episode upcoming. I find something really special.
I want to take a moment though to thank our friends and hosts, the Landons. Took us in over Christmas and New Year's, and without their hospitality we wouldn't have had the ability to stay on the island for so long. So thank you so much. Come explore, be more, and see more with Brother Nature.